This is PXX RPG Queen, otherwise known as hikarisilver, bringing you guys another amazing tutorial. Before I start off, you can find the skip button below to go to actually see me connect everything together again. You can also see above me a link to the original video that this is for. But anyway, thank you all for all the views, comments, and likes to the original video. I thought that since it's 2016, it's time for an update. That video was from 2015. Christmas is literally a day away at this point. People are getting new PS4s, Xboxes, whatever they're getting, and they want to put it to a monitor that has VGA, which is a little bit more difficult than putting it to a monitor that has DVI. Totally understandable. Don't want to share TV, but have a VGA monitor. Let's do this thing. So before I start off with anything, if you're still listening at this point, there's a few things I want to point out that are crucial for this to work for you. There are 3 ways you can do this: with a cable, an adapter, or a converter. Let's talk about that cable. A lot of you guys commented in the original video that you're using a cable and are saying that either my screen is flickering, it's black, but I hear sound, nothing's coming out. Okay, first of all, if the cable's working on an Xbox 360 or PS3, that's fine. But it will not work on new gen consoles solely because it's not actively powered. I wouldn't even give it a try. I'm lucky that I'm giving it this much talk in this part of the video. Just try to invest in an adapter, even though I know the cables are really, really, really inexpensive compared to an adapter and converter. It's just not working. I know it sucks to hear, but that's the truth. So let's talk about the adapter. So the adapter is something you guys saw me use in my first video. It works really well. However, a couple things. It needs to have an active power source. When I say active power source, it needs to be external power source. So that does not mean you can plug in a USB into directly your USB port in the PS4 or Xbox One. That just doesn't work. It needs to be a wall adapter that you're plugging it into, or something completely different, preferably 5V2A. You'll find links for that in my description. Number 2, HDCP compliancy. It's a thing that either will make it work or won't work. From my experience with the adapters, if the adapter itself is already HDCP compliant, then it will work fine. If it's not, then it's a toss of the coin of whether or not it will work. But you can make it work on the PS4. The Xbox One is a little bit more tricky. Let's talk about converters. Converters naturally come with an external power source, so here's what you need to do. Plug and play, very simple. Most of them are HDCP compliant, so little to worry about, very easy to set up. Also, before I start, if you have a monitor with VGA and DVI, you can still do these methods like I'm describing, but do it actively with an adapter or a converter and use DVI over the VGA. If it's solely VGA, then you're pretty much doing what I'm doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. With enough requests, I'll try and show how to do this with each of the consoles and even a PlayStation TV, which I do happen to own. But in any event, let's move on and show you guys how to do this. Alright, so in the beginning you heard me reference adapters and converters. This is a converter. I bought this a year ago, not so shortly after the first video. It worked fine, however, it's gotten its wear and tear and Velcro was put on it. It no longer works as well as it used to, but it was literally plug and play. I plugged it up for just my daughter on this monitor many of times, and it worked out perfectly fine. The only thing is you need a RCA-Y male-to-male adapter for this, and I have a link in the description on how that works. They basically look like this. RCA. This. So you can plug it into the auxiliary port. Now, everything is plugged up pretty nice. In this video, you're going to see me review this little guy, which I'm unplugging for you, just to show you. Bought it off of Amazon. I did my research, made sure it was HDC compliant. I have not changed any settings on the PS4 prior to hooking it up here. And for the sake of this video, I'm hooking it up to on top of the crates just to get a point across and do a quick video. I would not recommend playing on top of milk crates. That's a very bad idea. This is just for display purposes. Anyways, before you do any of this magical, mystical stuff, if you're not sure if it's HDCP compliant, use your TV and go to sound and screen resolution and take it off of automatic and switch it to the lowest resolution, which would be 480p. Then go down to your system. This is all in settings, by the way. You'll see a section called Enable HDCP. If your box is checked, uncheck it. Leave it like that and power down your PS4 normally and then hook it up like how I have. And proceed normally. Otherwise, we're going to show you guys how this works. Hang in there. Alright, so now with everything hooked up, we're going to go ahead and try and see what's going on by turning it on. Make sure your monitor's on and everything. I'm going to grab this guy. It's turning on just fine. Turning on just great. Sorry about that, guys. So it looks like I'm pretty fortunate. This works fine. I did my research. It works just like it's supposed to. Wow, works perfectly. Okay, so just for giggles and stuff, let's check to see what my system says. So it's unchecked, so we're going to go back and head and check it back on. Let's see if it works fine. So now it says inputs not supported, but there may be a reason. We're going to go and check on the resolution. The resolution is possibly either too high if you get the input not supported thing, either even with it checked or unchecked. So it tells me here what's supported for my monitor. I'm not even going to try 1080i. So it's best if I just put it on 720p, which is not too bad. Sorry, guys. So it made it go away. I have HDCP, which means I can use YouTube. So let's go ahead and see if I can use YouTube. If I can get there. There we go. YouTube opens up perfectly. Yeah, and there we go. My YouTube opens up perfectly. So, a few things before anything else. This is my PSN. If you didn't see it clearly, now you saw it perfectly clear in the beginning of the video. But overall, guys, this is pretty simple. Again, cables are not going to work really well. Adapters work great if you do your research and make sure that they're HDCP compliant and also actively powered either through a USB wall adapter or some other method. Converters work fine because they come with the active external power source. However, you may need to get the audio switch. My speakers are behind my monitor, by the way. Number 2, if you are not using the PS4 or even the Xbox One, make sure you power it down all the way. Do not leave your PS4 in rest mode with the adapter. It can possibly fry it. Again, if you have an active power source, it's plugged into the wall, and everything's working fine, don't just leave it sitting there not doing anything. Turn off the PS4 or just take out the adapter. But thanks again, everybody, for liking my videos. Hope this helps everybody out for the holidays. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like my Facebook page. Really, really like it. Follow me on Twitter. And check out my blog. And stay tuned again next time, guys, for some amazing things. Happy holidays.